glaucoma. So glaucoma is categorized into two types. One is primary open angle glaucoma and primary closed angle glaucoma. So today, what are the market driving factors? If I look at the today's population, it is 7.79 billion population across the globe, and with a growth rate of 0.87% by 2030. So if you look at the people who are at risk of glaucoma, above is all above 40 years of age. So today, 2.8 billion people are above 40 years of age, and people who are from genetics like African, American, and Asian, they're also at a risk range of glaucoma. And people who has a family history are also prone to glaucoma. So today, according to the economics, there is a preventable sight loss of $411 billion dollars that can be saved by proper screening methods and screening tools. So if you, for example, here I kept some information here, like 550 euros per person can be saved if you can properly screen in time. Otherwise, at a severity level, the same thing will cost 2,200 euros per person. So, and also the trends, because of the smartphones and the computers, the aging myopia is increasing day by day, and that leads to glaucoma. And also, aging population across the globe is very rapidly increasing, and hypertensive and other diabetes are also increasing. So this is trending towards the factor that there will be a lot more glaucoma patients, or there is a need for higher screening methods. So that was the reason the whole industry is also driving towards portable devices, referral platforms, and progression trackers. So currently, the current opportunity today is 3.2 billion screenings per year. How did I calculate that? Because glaucoma today at the moment, it is 79.6 million people are suffering with glaucoma. That means they should be screened every 3 times a year. Whereas people who are at 40 years of above age, they are 2.8 billion, they should be at least screened once a year. If I sum up for the year, so it is coming around 3.2 billions of screenings that I should do for a year globally. So who handles this? Basically, this is handled by optometrists or vision centers or ophthalmologists or specialists. So, but in India today, we only have active ophthalmologists of somewhere around 14,000, and glaucoma specialists of somewhere around 300 doctors, and retina specialists of somewhere around 800 doctors. And only general ophthalmologists, they're not very specialized in screening glaucoma, because glaucoma is a very complex disease to understand. It's not something that we can just see and tell. You need to have more examinations and understanding about the correlations. So where they fail, most of the experts fail at when to refer the patient, because unnecessary referrals. Why unnecessary referrals is because they don't know when exactly they need to refer. They just look on a subjective assessment and then they start referring for a expensive examination or anything as such. And for a patient who is at a rural area, to go to a town and take an OCT or a visual field analysis examination, that is a very tough thing, because in a rural area you don't find OCT or visual field access. So there is a need for when and how to refer, and it is also challenging for them to understand on a border level how to refer and when to refer. So that is causing at least 50% unnecessary referrals according to the some studies in the UK. And there is a lot of inter and intra-variable observations as well. For example, I give a same image to the doctor 2 days afterwards. He will give me a different result for glaucoma. So to avoid all these things, there we came up with our solution, which is Scania Glaucoma. So what exactly the Scania Glaucoma does is, I plug in a fundus image, which is a retinal image that is can be from any vendor. It can be low resolution image or a high resolution image. Our software can easily predict what is the next damage level of this person. Is it going to be the next going to be, is it going to be a severe stage, or is it going to be a mild stage? Is it something that the case need to be referred immediately for a further examination or not? So this is a platform that has been already validated, and we have an accuracy of 90.8%, and we have published this data in Indian Journal of Ophthalmology. So the product is already ready and going to be in a production stage very soon to the market. So the important factor is the doctor need to know whether I have to refer the patient to visual field analysis test, whether I need to refer OCT or not. So randomly, if a doctor takes a subjective action and if the doctor prescribes a medicine, steroid to use because you're a glaucoma patient, that person, even though he is not suffering with glaucoma, he need to use that steroids for lifelong. So that's where our software can give a quantitative assessment and give a predictive stage and a damage stage and help the doctor to understand whether to be referred or not, or to take a decision about the medication. So this is the patent, provisional patent we have done for glaucoma. And we have completely made this whole application on deep learning so that it works on any vendor. For example, today there are 35 fundus camera manufacturers across the globe, and all the product works with all of them. And it is also resolution agnostic, like it can work on high resolution camera or a low resolution camera. Even we are trying to work it out on a mobile phone so that we can simply capture the fundus image optic nerve head and then you get the assessment of it. So we get the progression rate. So current regulations is in India, we don't really have regulations, but we would like to start IEC 62805 because we want to go for Europe CE certification. And in the US, you need a US FDA, and Australia TGA, and Middle East FDA, and also Saudi is different with all different regulations. So the support we are planning or required from AMTZ is that we want help from AMTZ in regards to filing the IEC 62805 and also help with the CE certification. And as Andhra Meditech zone is very well, acquainted and closely working with Andhra Pradesh right now. So they're doing a lot of diabetic retinopathy screening and eye screenings regularly on multiple aspects. So we would like to help, we would like to receive help from AMTZ so that we can acquire our 100 customers, first 100 customers, so that we can scale our product across Indian market. And we, as AMTZ is already having a lot of connections with investors, we would like to take that advantage so that we can develop wonderful products from AMTJ because we have wonderful pipeline that we have patented. So we want to develop that. And we also have expertise in the AI solutions. And because of the deep expertise I have in the product technologies, can come up with wonderful solutions that can be useful for all the AMTZ partners. So we request AI Kalpa as AI solution provider for AMTZ. So these are the supports that we would like to have it from AMTZ. And the risks is that competitions are also cooling up across the globe in this area. So we would like to launch our product and bring that quantitative and comprehensive assessment. And we also want to start patenting in the Europe and the USA as well. And this is the project plan. If you look at the left side of the sheet, we have the I divided into 4 parts: technology, regulations, strategy, business, and investment and grants. So in October, we will have the stress testing of the product that we developed, and production setup is ready by November, and mobile also app will also be launched in November. So as a budgeted, 3 to 5 lakhs I have budgeted for that. And regulations wise, we want to start our IEC and CE certification from November and finish it by February if possible. And I have quoted 5 to 8 lakhs for that. And the strategy for picking up 100 customers from November to April, that we want to pull up the 100 customers in the next 6 months, and also get into government hospitals and bring more screening opportunities, and also entering into European markets. And also we want, our product is an API product, so that we can simply plug in into any EMR that is there in the hospital, or otherwise if a AI provider is only doing diabetic retinopathy, we want to provide that as an API plugin to them. And then in the month of, once we scale up to 50 customers, then we also want to pitch the investors about raising money and getting investments by April. So this is the plan. And we have another wonderful product that we are launching from Kalpa is a vendor neutral approach for progression analysis. Today, if you see, there are so many equipments in a hospital and they never communicate to each other. There are so many data types also. And they don't, so if a doctor wants to see the progression, he always need to print out all the details from the history. He need to show it, he need to keep it up, or otherwise see it in a frame to frame everywhere. But what we are coming up is, we are trying to see that our vendor neutral approach can make an element wise progression and also give an analytics around it. So this product prototype is ready. We are planning to build it up and make it production wise as well. So that is the future. We have already patented this as well. We are going for a full patent for the workup module. And here is the peer-to-peer publication. If you want to read, this is the Indian, it is published in the Indian Journal of Ophthalmology. And thank you so much for the time. So this is the Digital Conclave Award we have received in 2017-16 by now Dr. Nara Chandrababu Naidu sir and by HP. And then we've been an ASCOM members and we have been selected as Innovative AI Startup Award. Thank you so much for your time.
Now open for questions.
Open for questions, yes.
Mr. Raghunath, any questions?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So it's a wonderful, congratulations that you've taken the very, very bold step to move forward. It's very important innovation and much needed. I have a few questions to ask.
Yes, sir.
What's your commercial model? Who is your buyer?
Okay.
Is it B2C or is it B2B? Then I have a few other questions. Maybe you can address one after the other.
Okay. So primarily we have less sales team, so we are focusing on B2B, approaching the EMR companies and the distribution channels and also the artificial intelligence companies which are in diabetic retinopathy space so that we can go hand in hand with them into the market. And our model is pay as you go model. So every run, a doctor will pay for it. And
so basically you're selling it to the hospitals or to the doctors?
To the doctors and hospitals. We have three models. We have a single clinic practice as well as hospital practice, as well as we have the enterprise practice. So enterprise is for bigger clinics who has a volume of 10,000 per year, whereas single clinic, we are just dealing around 50 images per month. That is somewhere around summing up 600 per year. And for a hospital, we are going around 250 to 300 per month. So it is somewhere around 3,600 to 5,000 images. Right. Yeah.
So the second question is, yours is an algorithm software, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's not a hardware. You read the image on the mobile device,
No,
and then you analyze,
yes.
and then provide your results.
Yes.
And how does the model work in the real life? Suppose if a patient is walking in, does the doctor have to they have to take a fundus screening there, and then the doctor has to upload it to your solution and read it and then provide the necessary advice to the patient? That's how it works?
Yes, doctor. At the moment, what is happening is that today we have around 6,000 plus fundus cameras in India itself. And everybody, some of the cameras are already connected with the EMR platforms, electronic medical records. So our idea is to give as an API to the EMR companies so that it becomes like a uniform, that they don't have to hop between the systems. If there is a standalone device, like a single fundus camera, then they need to upload into our system, which is quite easy. I can show the product. It's very easy. You just drag and drop the image into the system and it will pop up the result. It's a very simple unit to use. That was also the reason why we are also coming on a mobile phone so that you don't have to do anything. You just have to focus the fundus, ONH, optic nerve head, like a QR code, and you get the result of the image. So we are just trying to simplify that workflow issue as well with our software.
I have two small questions before I leave it to the other panelists.
Yes.
One is, you intend to do these validations in where do you want to do these trials to get your solution validated?
We have already validated it with AIMS and Vedanta Hospital in the New Delhi, Gurgaon. And the results have been already published in a peer-to-peer review journal in Indian Journal of Ophthalmology. And and the second one, we have worked with Aravind Eye Hospital. The validations are still ongoing with that, Aravind Eye Hospitals.
Okay, the Madurai.
Yes, Madurai.
Okay. And then if I look at your solution, there are already a little matured players in this space for the last 2.5 at least, which I know 3 years. How do you place yourself? What is the differentiator for you compared to the existing similar startups that have now
Yes.
grown big? How do you distinguish yourself?
I have been in the same ophthalmology industry for 10 years right now, closely following it with all the AI startups. Most of the AI startups are working in the diabetic retinopathy space. And mostly these softwares are classifying softwares, like only just they say whether there is a disease or no disease. And ours is more a comprehensive version of it. We are more comprehensive that we grade the image and we tell whether there is a need for immediate referral or not, and this referral is needed or not. So that so far I haven't seen any kind of comprehensive glaucoma software in the market yet. Because for DR there is a lot of them. Diabetic retinopathy, I agree with you, there are so many competitors. For glaucoma, there is very few. It's still not pulled up.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
I'm done.
Thank you, Mr. Abraham. Mr. Vikas.
Yeah, hi. I've got one very quick question. Mr. Uday, great solution, very futuristic plan that you have. The quick question that I have is around the error rate that you have seen. So since yours is a solution, what is the sample size that you have worked on, and what kind of error rate have you seen in your solution?
You mean the training side, right?
That's right.
Yeah, we have trained more than 15,000 images, and the error rate we have seen is somewhere around 7 to 8% during the
7 to 8%.
yes.
Okay, makes sense. Great. And a connected question. So you are collecting medical data, right?
Yes.
And in US, you might know there's HIPAA, which
Yes.
is a medical related law. In India also, we are coming up with Data Protection Act, and
Absolutely.
any medical data is considered as sensitive data.
Absolutely.
So I believe your software will be hosted on some kind of public cloud. So have you thought about how you're going to protect the data that you're going to collect?
Yes, we follow HIPAA compliance strictly because we want to go for the certifications as well, and
Okay.
also follow the GDPR guidelines from the Europe. So we were right now hosted in Amazon. So we are planning once the production scale up goes on, then we will take a medically secured secure graded cloud, so that we will make sure that our data is very protected and regularized by the other countries.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Nirmal?
Yeah, actually, in the same line as Vikas has been asking, but so it seems so your confidence score is around 92% accuracy for your model.
Yes. And
Great, great.
it is increasing slowly.
That's really awesome. Actually, that's really awesome job that you get.
Thank you.
So really doing very good. It's very impressive. Hey, I just have the one question is that like two questions actually.
Yes.
So the same line with Vikasji's question.
Mhm.
So you are operating now only in India or you are going global?
At the moment, we are operating in India only because of the certifications. We want
Right,
to go to Europe.
compliance as well.
So because of the certification, we are not at.
So are you planning for a CE or
Yes,
CUC the software?
that's the idea behind it, to go for CE certification, because we are finding a little bit issues with not many CE certification companies are doing CE certification for software companies, software itself.
Right.
So the challenge is that we are finding, and we found one of the partner in Netherlands, which is DECRA. So
Mm-hmm.
we are in discussions with them right now to see that if we can CE certified. If EMTG can also help in finding anybody somewhere in the Indian market or expertise, that would be also a great help for us during this process.
Great. And so, last question is that it's just out of curiosity.
Yes.
Uh, so you are, I assume, you are taking bunch of images and then rendering, so and processing them. So do you use any image capture software beforehand, or like a task kind of thing, or or it's just your model is capable of
The,
capturing and compiling the images together?
the capture models are always given by the device manufacturers.
Okay.
So the option what we are doing to see is that we connect with the device manufacturer so that the image is automatically sent into the system. So like how they do it is like they will be saving this information in a folder,
Great.
and then where we will be able to pick up from the network folder and try to activate that image. So if you give me like 1 minute, I can show you so far if you're interested to look at it. If I still have time, 1 minute or 2 minutes. It's very simple how easy we made the solution.
Okay. Okay. I think Manishji, we're good for 1-2 minutes.
Yes, yes, you go ahead.
Please share.
Okay, I will just show quickly. Thanks for that. Because we done a very interesting solution, quite easy to so this is our solution, and let me log into the solution. So what we did is like it is an open solution that anybody can create an account, and then they can access it for a trial basis for 1 month. And as soon as the trial period is completed, you will be registering into our pay-as-you-go model. So this is the dashboard where you can actually look at the reports, the existing reports. So you have a stack of reports where you can actually print and see whether this person is not need to be referred. So it's quite simple. Now I can simply drag or otherwise select an image from my local computer. Just click on it. It opens my local computer. I can select any image, like say any image, and I just open it. As soon as I open it, the image goes to my server, and it will automatically select the cup and disk and make sure that whether this person is referred or non-referred. It takes around 15 to 16, 15 seconds right now because of we have made this as a serverless approach, as a Lambda. So that was the reason. So now you see that this is the report which popped up. It is saying that this person need to be referred because his stage is DDLS stage is 4, and it's predicting that there is a rim damage at the 11th hour, and also there is a predictive damage which can happen in a 10th hour. So this is something that he needs to go for a visual field because there is a structural to functional correlation. This is how it works.
Good. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. This showing the software. Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
So this software is compatible, can be made compatible with any make of fundus camera.
Yes, absolutely, Mr. Anand. Dr. Anand. It is work for
How does it work? Can I take images offline and then drag and drop into the software and analyze, or
Yes, exactly.
the actual product itself? What does it contain? No, the product you're selling is just a scan AI as such, or comes with the hardware?
No, it doesn't
Any
come
bit
with
of hardware associated with this?
No, it doesn't come as a hardware. It is a software product that can be associated with any kind of vendor that is there in the market. Like you can take Forest. They can easily take your images and put in a scanner. And you can take Zeiss. You can take Topcon. Anybody just can send an image into our software and they can run and check whether this need to be referred or not. The patient need to be referred for further examinations or not. Did I answer your question, Dr. Anand? Hello? Is it audible for everyone?
I think
You're audible. You're audible, Uday.
But I think for Anand Krishna, I think it's not audible.
I think he's internally discussing with some other jury member.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's fine. So that's the answer, Dr. Anand Krishna.
So, Dr. Kavita, you want to ask any question? You're not connected, I think. Yeah.
Thank you. Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, Dr. Kavita.
Okay, so do we need mid-radic and non-mid-radic images?
It doesn't matter. Either it's a non-mydriatic or mydriatic. Both of them works into the system. This is like we developed it in such a way that it is resolution agnostic as well.
So for a patient, do we need to dilate the people?
There is, I mean, if you are using a fundus camera, then you need to know whether this fundus camera is a non-mydriatic or a mydriatic. But for this, it is only a software that you are sending an image into the system.
Okay.
So fundus cameras, there you have to see whether it is a non-mydriatic or a mydriatic.
Okay, so for a patient, we need a hardware which is associated to the software basically.
Yes, I think there are so many hardware providers across the market. Somewhere around 35 plus manufacturers are there in this area. And today India is more than having 6,500 plus cameras.
Yes. So but there are some devices which give software analysis also. Then
Yeah, but
how
there are some, every software today, they're just only like additional web application platforms, and they're integrated into the systems. That is how we are also planning to integrate into the systems. So we made it much more simpler, like you can simply drag and drop the image into the system, into our software.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hi, this is Santosh. I just have two questions. You said you require support for regulations from AMTZ. Like, what kind of support are you expecting? Do you have a team member of your own for regulatory support, or you're going to completely depend on AMTZ?
We don't have any team member on the regulation because that's not there. It's not there so far, that aspect. But we would need more support from you, Mr. Santosh, from AMTZ, guidance like how do we apply for the IEC, as well as we can prepare the documentation that is required from a technical side. We do have that.
Okay.
The only thing is that we really don't know how to achieve or go to that process. That's the idea behind it.
Okay. Also, in your timelines, you put it as 6 months for regulatory support.
Yes.
Did you look up, like, is that sufficient, or it is tentatively put up?
It's tentatively kept, Santosh, because I am working on CE. CE might take a little longer than expected, but
Yes.
there are certain aspects where we might get CE in 6 or 8 months, or otherwise it might take 1 year or more than that. So we never know. But at least for IEC, it should not be taking much time. It is a 1 month, 2 month process.
Okay. Got it.
Sahu? Okay. So we'll move to the next participant, Mr. Ravi Kiran.
Okay, thank you so much for everyone for giving the time and opportunity. So I will, mute myself.
Thanks, Uday.
Hi, respected panel members. This is Kiran. I'll be presenting about a very new digital histopathology opportunity as a part of this panel. I hope you're able to see the screen.
Up till now.
Mr. Ravi Kiran, can you please on your video?
Yeah, I did that already.
We can't see you.
I cannot see your screen.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. If can I request if you can also unmute Dr. Sairam? He's also present here. He's unable to log into this session. If that is possible, as and when I keep going, he'll be adding some inputs as well. So what we are doing is something called as pathoquick. It's one of the issues that pathologists keep seeing is where to take the pathology or where to take the slice of the tissue and then look at the disease and identify the disease. This is what a huge problem that's being faced by pathologists, and that is the reason. That's the emergence of the digital pathology. Now, most of these companies are converting most of the slides, the pathology slides, in they're digitizing it, and they're using AI to predict most of the diseases. But our discussion with most of these companies as well as pathologists revealed that the 2D images that we are taking right now is not sufficient enough. So what we have done, we followed the presentation runs this way. It follows the guidelines provided by MTZ. So there is some lot of confidential information here. So we respect if it is not been replicated without our recommendation, without our permission. So we are incubated at both AMTZ and VIT. My number is given here, and you can meet Dr. Sairam. He's always at AMTZ, and you can use these email IDs to contact us. Um, so I'll not go over these details because I'm sure everybody knows about histopathology, but the immediate need is it takes a long time whenever the disease is not very clear. Say, for example, in cancer diagnostics, after the tissue is taken out, and then if the pathologist is not really sure about whether he's looking at the cancer cells or not, he goes back to the histopathology sample. He goes back to the sample, takes a new slice, and then he presents that. So that's the problem statement. We divide the total problem statement into three major things. Because of these things, there's a very low specificity of diagnostics coming from histopathology whenever they are time bound. And then there's a huge excision of cancerous tissues is required when it is, I mean, during cancer surgeries. Sometimes the cancer tissue that has been excised goes beyond the cancer tissue as well, and the demarcation of that turns out to be very challenging. And then to give up specific diagnostics, there is a high turnaround time. So these are the three problems our algorithm would be solving. The current specifications of any particular histopathology slice comes around maximum of 400x magnification, and the slices usually stays at around 40 micron, and then the x and y goes around 3 mm, not even 3 mm. And then there are multiple slices needed to be done, and sometimes it takes from days and days to get the result. And then sometimes ultimately the result comes with false negative as well. So our algorithm gives a histopathology of a long and a wide field of view. Say, for example, uh, we give a histopathology slice of a total size of the tissue ranging from 7 mm cross 7 mm and the thickness up to 1 to 1.5 mm, which means that the histopathologist can now choose a location and then say, hey, I want I want the histopathology of this part of in this section of the tissue, and then that section of the tissue's histology will be revealed. That is what we are envisioning at. So earlier we had to go back and take a slice and then look under the microscope, put it under formalin, and then make a small slice, and then again look under the microscope. These were the number of steps used in getting the give me 1 second. Extremely sorry. I was thinking Sairam would be presenting, so it's all right. So that was the current scenario, and then what we are doing is we will give the whole 3D picture of the complete histopathology, and then the user pathologist can just click on the location of the tissue 3D sample, and the corresponding histopathology will be revealed. That's what we are doing. And then because of this, there'll be a better disease management and definitely more business to the pathology labs. And for research labs, we can do in vivo and in vitro as well with the same device and the same software. And a single iteration should be enough. That is what we'll be aiming to at the end. And the time to result also reduced to minutes rather than days. And yes, since this is AI based, we need IEC 62304 medical device software lifecycle process had to be formed. And then we also have to follow the GDPR regulations along with such as HIPAA rules. So currently it's a very simple algorithm development. At the end of the presentation, I'll show you some results that we have obtained as well. We take input images, strain, and then it actually measures and calculates the features, and then the classifier gives the output. We have presented this in a conference in 2020, happened at Hyderabad HITC, where what we have done is we have taken a set of histopathology images that are available online, and then we've taken the corresponding 3D cross-sectional images. We did a neural network algorithm and trained that AI model. And then we developed an equivalency between OCT, a particular 2D OCT and a histopathology. And those two keep analyzing the frames, and then finally it will pinpoint which tissue is abnormal. And then along with that, it also reconstructs the whole histopathology of the abnormal tissue, abnormal part of the tissue. So that's what we have done. This is the proposed architecture. We haven't run deep into this as of now. And then the support we need is collaboration with digital pathology labs, and we need access to your supercomputing facilities so that we can host our server. And then yeah, again, it would be good if we can onboard any histopathologists into our group so that we can get continuous support from the histopathologists. We envision a lot of risks, like with the accuracy in the training sets, and then we want to mitigate that by having a pathologist on board who can readily say this data is useful, this data is not so really useful. So especially to name it, cleaning the data, that is very, very important for something where the data is not really abundant out there as of now for this particular work. And then we are our algorithm depends heavily on the good microscopic images, and that is a challenge to obtain as of now. So far, the It has been it's been a challenge, and this is very new. So time for acceptance, time to accept this technology by histopathologists would be a big business risk that we are envisioning. We have a few steps where we have a project plan where we'll have to get the data, then collect more data, and then we have to get further more data if the first two steps are not sufficient. So the third step would be done by ourselves. We will give a protocol on what kind of data has to be developed, and then we'll have the Python with the flowchart that we have just shown. We have to implement it, train the model, and then validate it. We are thinking of a timeline of total 1 year, and for 6 months we need to really enhance the data, as in get the 3D constructed histopathology, 3D reconstructed image, and then we'll have to use those data set to perform classification. And the first tissue that we are looking at is to tackle breast cancer. And then these are all tentative budgets that we are looking at. And thanks and questions. And before you come up with the questions, let me just show a simple result which has been used by our intern. One of our intern has taken some images that are available, and then he trained a neural network algorithm, and this is what a simple result that we could show, preliminary results. Thank you, and any questions, we're more than happy to answer.
Thank you, Dr. Kiran.
Thank you, Mr. Manish.
So questions, please. Mr. Raghunath.
Hi, Ravi, a great solution. I think this is something which enhances the quality of the diagnostics extremely well. I've seen some of the models what you're trying to put in place. What is the sample size you're looking at, the total number of samples to train your algorithm? Because it's not so easy, and you need to have some kind of a gold standard where you benchmark for the doctors to start believing the output from your model.
That's a very, very excellent question. And when we spoke to AI experts, they have given us a number of 40,000 samples. 40,000 samples would be something will help us get this particular work done with better accuracy. So that's to answer your question. Yes, we are looking at 40,000 samples, and to get those samples, we need a very good. It's like a we have to combine it with pilot studies. It's something like that. When we test our device, along with that, we collect the data, and that data, along with that data, would be used to train our algorithms. Does that answer your question?
Yeah,
Maybe some bandwidth issue.
You can't hear me?
Sir, I could not hear you.
No, I was asking, is this sample size good enough for all the validations required in all the other countries?
I believe so, but time will tell, because 40,000 at the first look, I realized that's a lot. But then AI experts have been saying even that might not be right, because we will have a lot of unused data in there.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's a big challenge. Thanks for that question.
Yeah, I'll pass on to Dr. Kavita from AIMS.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. The solution was actually very good. Uh, I have seen some existing solutions like this. So, are you aware if there are new solutions and how your solution would be better than the available ones?
Very good question, ma'am. Actually, the Sigtupil is one of the big company that's been working on this. There are multiple companies that are working on the phase two, second part of that we are doing. What they're doing is they take the histopathology tissues and then they classify it for a certain particular disease. So it's like the pathologist intervention is reduced, but that is limited to the data that they are having. What we are doing, two steps. One is in the first step, we are enhancing the data. They are looking at a very small subset of the whole tissue. What we are giving pathologists is if a, say for example, a 4 centimeter cross 4 centimeter tissue is excised. I know I just exaggerated it, but just for the sake of it, if is extracted, the whole sample's histopathology is developed using our algorithm, and we give that whole image, a 3D image of the whole excised tissue. Whereas what the current solutions, what they're doing is they're taking a small slice of each one and then digitizing it and then predicting the disease. So we are doing a twofold. One, we are enhancing the data quality, enhancing the data as well. For that, we need AI again. And also at the diagnostic stage, we are using AI. So there are two algorithms that are working in parallel. That's how we are different from what people are doing right now. In fact, we initially wanted to, actually our expertise also lies in ophthalmic imaging. We have one product called eye scanner, which is out in the market already. And this is the second product that we are coming up with. So when we spoke about all the pathologists related to retinal images, this is what we have realized, that we need something to solve the problem of having accurate data rather than predicting from the data. So our solution helps AI experts to get the perfect good data. That's the first problem we are solving.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the.
And at what stage we are right now with the software?
That's a very good question. The results that we are showing are, we just used a simple neural network algorithm that was available on GitHub. It's a simple, we don't have, we are not AI experts, as I said. We will have to get some AI expert and take up this project. This was a part of a project done by an intern from VIT, MCA final year student. We gave him the set of images, and he worked on the algorithm and got very preliminary results. To be very honest with you, we just have this flowchart ready, and then we have written the codes to develop the algorithm, and we have done a very preliminary study with only 400 images. Only with 400 images, we have trained that algorithm and then just saw what it is. And there are a lot of manual corrections done at every stage. So that's the stage we are at right now.
Thank you. And what is the name of the device, ophthalmic device, which you said just now?
That's eye scanner, ma'am. IXANNER. We have released it for educational purposes, and that should be. Thank you.
I think this is a stage when we can pull Mr. Vikas Arora. He's expert in cybersecurity and AI part, so he can definitely ask you many questions here.
Yeah, thanks, Manishi. My both questions are already asked by Dr. Kavita. What I wanted to ask was that how do you retain AI talent, right? So I wanted to ask how big is your team, what stage the product is, and then if you have AI expert in-house in your team, how do you retain them? You know, what kind of challenge do you face? But you said, you know, you don't have a team right now, right?
Right, right, right. And not only AI team, I'm having difficulties in retaining the rest of my optics team as well.
Yeah,
So we
that's
are
a
we are
great.
giving them ESOPs and everything now. That is what we have recently started doing. We are
That's
giving a
right.
part of our company to them.
That's right. And I'm sure, the basic question that I asked in the initial first session as well around how do you plan to protect the data, comply with the regulations and all. So you don't have anybody on roles right now, but when you expand, you will have to have somebody to take care of the compliances and security and all. So
That's
that,
correct. So to answer that question, for our eye scanner product, we already have one a person who is working on the tech file. He's we have a actually the for our previous product we are a team of 15 members. We have a R&D head, we have two mechanical engineers, we have two embedded systems engineers, we have two software engineers. So all of them are very busy with our eye scanner product, and at some point or the other, that team will switch over to this product as well.
that's right. That's right. Great. That's what I wanted to ask. Good luck, Dr. Kiran. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we'll move on to Dr. Anant Krishnan, who is you're already incubated under him, I think. So let's move ahead and ask a few questions from them.
Dr. Ravi, you said like 40,000 samples required, right? So also when I asked what support you want, you said you want collaboration with some digital pathology labs. So 40K samples means how many patients we are talking in this case?
That's a very good question. Actually, so usually when we do the pilot studies, we try to have 5 different locations where we keep on getting these samples. So when we worked for our previous product, it turns out to be around per day we need close to 85 to 90 samples per day. Then we can complete it by the within 6 months period, and at 5 different locations. So it's 400 times 100. So that's how it is. So so more than number of patients, number of samples, I would say is yes, 80 per day is what I would do with 5
I'm just
units.
trying to link these two questions, 40,000 samples and support from digital pathology labs. So you basically wanted labs which can send you these patients and can provide 40,000 samples, correct?
Right. Either that, or we can have our device there along with the software, and then we can keep on collecting the data as and when we get the samples, and then that would be faster. Or we can have a center location at AMTZ, and we can collect all the samples from 5, 6 different locations. We do the imaging, we get the image, but we need a pathologist to support us in that case, and then that data we can use to develop the whole to train the whole algorithm.
No problem. And you did say that support with funding a supercomputing facility and things. Do you have an idea of what sort of budget it is for the computing facility?
Yeah, I think the least possible thing would be probably around 1.5 lakh to 2 lakhs. That's what I believe for to set up the whole server and all that. That is what I think comes to around.
That's very good. Thank you. And last question is this: you spoke about 2 phases. Phase 1 is like having an image enhanced data set, and phase 2 is like breast cancer screening. So is this like phase 2? You want to expand your scope to breast cancer screening? Is it what you mean? Okay.
That's correct, sir. So usually just with enhancing the data set, the business model would be very difficult, because everybody wants the data, but why would they want to? I mean, unless we show some tangible output, saying, hey, we can say whether this particular sample has breast cancer or not. Unless we say something tangible, the whole work will not be really useful. So that's why we want to enhance the data sets first and then apply these to the breast cancer as the first entry point.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Kiran,
Thank you
for
for
your time. We'll move on to the next participant. Thank you. You can stop the screen sharing. We'll move to the next participant, Mr. Kailash. His topic is mobile application self-screening system. And it is based on robot to serve in diagnostic, administrating and disinfecting COVID-19 patients. Yeah, welcome, Mr. Kailash.
Good afternoon, very good afternoon, sir. Happy to present my project. We are under student category, and this is ADTB, a doctor to be a patient.
We are not able to hear you, Kailash.
Is it audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes, hi, this is Kailash, founder at Kiosk. Our product is ADTB, a doctor to be. We come under student category. And this is doctor to be is an AI-based patient monitoring robot incorporated with AI and IoT for servicing, diagnosing, and also disinfect the COVID-19 patients. The problem statement is simple. The nurse in the COVID ward has to collect the vitals of the patient, and he or she needs to give medication, proper medication to the patient, and also they need to clean the patient's wards. This robot does all the activity in a single robot. And yes, it's AI features. It comes with mass detection, and it has a multilingual AI chatbot, and it also predicts the patient details, whether he or based on his facial emotional reactions. And it can sense the body's temperature, patient's temperature, SpO2 and heart analysis. And it has a fully equipped cluster in the middle of the robot. It comes with a hand sanitizing unit. It comes with SpO2 unit in the center, and it has a tablet dispensing unit. The tablet dispensing unit, in the sense, if there are a situation, we can see a patient named Akash is having diabetic. The robot dispense a diabetic tablet to that person in person, and along with the other para tablets. And next, it comes with QR code. The patient details is stored and secured in a QR code. The QR code consists the prehistory of the patients who are being admitted. And it has a UV sterilizing chamber. The food that are supplied to the patients is UV sterilized. And it comes with disinfecting channels on both sides. It disinfects the room and also the patient's wards. It comes with IoT dashboard. It records the patient's temperature, SpO2, and all this into a single IoT dashboard. And that dashboard calculates the discharge time of the period, whether he or she need to discharge in 4 days or in 5 days, like that. And also gives a pie chart, a complete sector of the patient. And it comes with auto charging dock. The robot gets charged by itself. You just need to fill the things like the tablets or the supplies you need to dispense to the patients. And this is the key activities. You can see the face recognition, patient's detail storage, UV sterilizing food, and all this. And our prototype cost around 1.75 lakh to the market value and the value proportions. And this is the customer relationship, and this is the actual business plan. Okay, this is the competitive landscape. You can see that we will see lots of patient monitoring robot in the world now, but each are specific for single person servicing, disinfecting, and monitoring. But our product does all the activities in a single robot. And this is a market potential. We have huge market potential still now. There are lots of death, and for wave 3 we have been ready. And this is the risk analysis. Extensive power supply and unlimited networks are inadequate supply of medications is the major risk. And this is the ADTB in charge in hospitals. And let me show you the working video of the product. Is my screen visible, sir?
Screen is visible, but not the video.
So video is not visible, sir.
No.
1 second, sir.
You have to click on the share screen and then you have to shift the screen.
Okay, sir.
Switch overs.
Is my screen visible, sir, now?
Yep, I can see.
Sir, 1 second, sir. Sir, is audio visible, audible, sir?
No.
1 second.
So
Sir.
if you can share the link in the chat, we'll play it here.
Okay, sir. 1 second, sir. One second, sir. Sorry for the interruption. 1 second.
Yeah,
So
we
I have
got the
sent.
link. Just give us a minute.
Okay, sir.
Last class. Yeah, thank you, Kailash.
Yes, sir. I would like to continue along with it, sir. And this is the current traction, sir. We have been awarded with Make in India Award from Indian ministries in 2020, and we have also been published in 200 plus national and international journals. And this is a team and with 2 years of experience in all the domains. And this is required support required from like funding support and certification of sensors. And future updates is we are researching on black fungus detection of the patients with an accuracy of 70%. We are researching on it, and the prototyping is going on. And this is Let's Write Together. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
So we'll move to the questions. Dr. Nirmal?
Hello. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Manish. A good concept. Kailash said this is really taking to the it feels like a Star Wars kind of movie, man. So this is really nice, very good. So, but with that, what is the adaptation of this, this new, because it's a very new kind of technology, and emotionally, people would how people would feel with the new kind of, it's a AI that you can touch, a tangible AI. So, what is the adaptation with the, like you are implementing it? I can see it's not a concept anymore. You are implementing it in real life. So
Yes,
that is, yeah.
the researchers, we have been test trialed in 2 hospitals with 600 patients in review, and they are connecting with the robot. The thing is, we have given the terms to talk with them in a very simple manner, yes or no, or just okay or bad, like that. So they are feeling very comfortable with the robot, and you can see how to get the temperature, like how you need to position in front of the camera for temperature, or how you need to, like that, all the information will be displayed in the screen, so it will be very warm welcome for the patients.
Okay, and what is the the downtime for this thing, like in the maintenance and downtime? Like you need to replace, probably refill the machine with the with different supplies and stuff. So
Yes, this robot can supply up to 25 beds in as a single robot, for up to per day it can supply the food and also the tablets. You need to refill the robot after each and every day.
and any error rate or confidence score you have calculated for, like the QR code detection and dispensing the tablets to the patient. So is there a mismatch, or is there some errors? Like what is the
No, sir, we haven't. The thing is, we made error in while chatbot. The chatbot, due to noise reduction, we have, but we have also introduced a noise reduction mic in this model, and everything works fine now, sir.
okay. And what kind of sensors you are looking for this? Excuse
The
me, I
thing
have
is, we have,
a cold
yes,
little bit. Sorry. Yeah.
okay. We have used local made sensors which is available in the market, and we are looking for more accurate sensors for actual deployments, sir,
Okay.
with the CE certifications.
Thank you. Great. Innovative product. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we'll move to Raghuramji.
Hi, Kailash. You introduce yourself, you entering in under the student category. Compared to
Yes, sir.
that, it's a phenomenal product, especially the need of the hour. What I've seen is you have combined too many features into one gadget. So it's dispensing, monitoring, reading, understanding, cleaning, too many things into one unit. What I wanted to know is you said about 800 beds are already being serviced in
Yes,
some
sir.
hospitals. And with the rate of one robo trying to help about 25 beds in a day, I would like to know how many doctors have been benefited, or the medical fraternity, doctors and nurses in those hospitals. And have you gathered any feedback about the challenges of this particular robo directly from the practitioners?
Yes, the thing is, our institution conducted a COVID camp, and we deployed this product over there, in which more than 1K plus 1K plus COVID patients were gathered in a single hall, and we introduced a robot in that environment, and it worked for 5 days continuously for regularly placing working like that. And also we deployed in front of the doctors for reviews, for medical reviews, and also in front of the nurse, is if we are satisfying your problem or we are making any gap between us. They said, yes, you are going great, but the thing is, um, their employment may be disturbed in this product. But other than that, they have said it is very good enough in our environment, and it is. And another thing is, it can also be used in ICUs for monitoring the display. Those I mentioned that you can see the temperature or multi-parameter display. It captures the display, and it automatically sends the value to the IoT dashboard.
Did you try to, is it on your plan? Because in ICU, there are multiple parameters displayed and monitored, and the robo is not linked through software to these monitors. Each one comes out with lots of data continuously. Do you have plans to integrate the data directly from those systems? Because visually reading something and reporting something else and pushing this data for another EHR EMR system or for a register, ICU register, is different, but reading them directly from the devices is something different. So what's your plan?
Yeah, we may try to integrate, but the process is simple. We are looking to surveillance of the patients, whether they are moving or the position is safe. In that manner, it does the surveillance, and also it captures the information. And it is a very simple process. If we need to gather and collect, we need to create a hub and we need to process the data. Our concept is we need to bring a single concept to do all the things. So we can also think about integrating, as you said, integrating the multi-parameters into single board and transferring the data. It's also possible in our process.
So what's life after COVID? Now you positioned it as a COVID. Now the COVID cases are coming down. The people who are trying to get into the hospitals, hopefully, is likely to come down. So what will be your unique value proposition when you want to position this? It's not an alternative to the medical professionals, because they should not feel that they're threatened for their jobs. What is the single
Yes.
most important factor you would like to sell?
Yes, as said, it can be used for ICU for surveillance monitoring. As you can see in many hospitals, most of the nurse will not be available during the night time. So it can be used for night surveillance, and it also can be used for malls as a immobile robot for screening of temperature and other SpO2 to send their dashboard. They are safe to enter the theaters or malls, etc., and also in airports.
Thanks. Excellent. Kailash, wish you good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kasim?
Yeah. Hello, Kailash. How are you?
Fine, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. You mentioned, just a second. Manish sir, can you carry on? MD is calling me. Please carry on. Hello.
So we'll
Manish, please
move on
carry on.
to Junaid Ahmed.
Yes, sir.
Kailash, hi. It looks nice actually, but like I have a like query on the vehicle movement actually. Like what kind of sensors you are using to detect the object detection or like obstruction detection, and to move pathway without any problem actually. How are you tackling it?
The thing is, we are using with line following concept, because line following is very simple and fastest way of moving from one place to another compared to lidars and other sensors. And it moves by line. It has a 360-degree object detection while whether the line is cleared. And while it's retest a bed, it has a unique RFID under each bed. It scans the RFID under each bed, and it stands for about 10 minutes for each patient, completes the process, then catches the line back, and it moves to the next patient. After completing all the patient, it moves to the docking station.
Usually what happens in the hospitals, you can see like footfall will be more, right? So the line following robot requires a dark region and a plain region, right? So if you can implement like path tracking method or something like that, that would be easier than the line following method. So that's my submission.
Yes, sir. We worked on leaders and path detection as ROS. And the thing is, the robot takes much time to move from one place to another due to the lots of populated environment in the hospital. If the robot catches a single line, it moves quick, better than that RO path, self path detection. And that's why we made this line for detection. And line detection is also, we have been the line will be of two types. First layer is of white line, and another top it will be like a dark line. So we have made a sticker kind of things for this robot.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Kavita?
Thank you for the presentation. So I have a question, like, what is the scope? You have not mentioned your scope. So basically, this robot is addressing the problem correctly, but then we can't send the robot to all the patients. So we need to we can send this robot for patients who are already in recovery, who are who are already conscious. So in your presentation, you can even mention the scope of your device, that this robot is recommended for the patients who are in recovery, who are conscious, and definitely this robot can reduce the fatigue in healthcare professionals, because they keep on running and they have to deliver drugs. For drug delivery, it is good, but again, for continuous monitoring and all other features which you have mentioned, it seems that is a little bit challenging as of now. Because
Yes.
again, it seems challenging, but yes, definitely it is solving part problem, not completely, but yes, partly. And how do you place your device? Because now again, in the market we see different robots are available. So how is your device different than the available robots in the market?
Yeah, as said, we are having a robot for separate process for dispensing, servicing. This robot is a complete process, and it's one of the kind of newest. And while for investing for separate robot, for one for servicing and another for dispensing, this robot does each and every activity as a single robot. And as you said, yes, this robot looks for general patients. The thing is, we need to reduce the contact time between the patient and the nurse who are taking care of. And
yes, so that's what a slide
yes,
with the scope
taking.
of this robot should come up in your presentation.
Yes, sir. Sure, ma'am. Sure.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dr. Anand Krishna?
So Kailash, can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Kailash?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, so just going through the support you need from us. So as it stands, your sensors need to be much more optimized. So you'll do some R&D on sensors. So that's one support you need from us. Then with the new sensors, and the entire product need to be certified.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
number
sir.
2. And in a long-term view, are you also planning for large-scale, full-scale production?
Yes,
So
sir.
can I say progressively these three things are what you need from AMTZ? One is support with sensors, optimization, and then certification of sensors, and then going to full scale production.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. But do you have some sort of ballpark figure? Financially, what is the budgetary requirements for step 1 and 2?
For actually we're in for prototype stage, it costs around 1 lakh, and for actual product, it costs around 1.75 lakh to
No,
restart.
that's for the POC. I'm talking for R&D. The 1 lakh is for the POC, right? For the entire unit.
1.75, sir. 1.75 for the POC, and R&D charges, we are not aware of it, and we need to do some calculations regarding to the business scale.
Can you work on it and then come back to us?
Sure. Yes, sir.
Okay. Santosh?
Yeah. So Vivekji.
So Kailash, thank you so much. Thank you so much, for this presentation. Just wanted to check with you, have you ever considered, integrating telemedicine with this? Because the way I look at it as a business model, probably this can be standalone unit, anywhere where, the doctor consultation can happen, and there is automatic dispensing of the medicine is happening. The reports are also being created. So have you thought of, integrating telemedicine or teleconsultation on this device?
Yes, sir. We can also do. But due to the patient duration, we have shortlisted more features. We have minimized the features. We can also incorporate telemedicines. Hello.
So Dr. Santosh.
Hi, this is Santosh here. So since we are talking about a device that is going into ICU and in front of patient monitors and around patients, is there any pre-compliance testing done for this device, like emissions and radiations kind of report?
The radiation is not there. The thing is, we have just trialed for 30 days in the environment, and it doesn't have any drawbacks from the product.
No, that is the drawbacks on the product. But since it's an electrical device, the electrical components inside your device emit radiation. So there needed to be a pre-compliance test report that it is under permissible limits, because it's going in front of many other devices as well. So
Yes.
any idea of obtaining a test report from NABL certified labs that its emissions are under control?
Yeah, as you asked, the thing is the sensors, as we said, it's not a professional sensors, it's just a local sensors. After incorporating those sensors, we can move for that radiation certificates. And
Okay. So, and the R&D that you are thinking about, the integrating of new sensor, do you have a timeline plan? Because I didn't see it in your slides. Your timeline schedule for planning that R&D and integrating. Any idea in your mind, your timelines?
yeah, it should be, we have planned that this process should be over by March 2022.
Okay.
And
So if you can include your time schedule in the slide, that will be great. That's very important for evaluation.
sure, sir. Next one, sure. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Any further questions we have? So we'll move to the next participant. Thank you, Kailash.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Subrajit Singha Roy. He's speaking on to track stress continuously through the day. So he's a VR, AR neurorehabilitation and telerehabilitation product. Over to you, Subrajit.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, on and all. And thank you for giving me the platform to share my project details. Am I audible and my presentation is visible?
Yes.
Can I continue, sir?
Please go ahead.
So my project is IoT-based earbud for real-time stress management. So I am a startup. My company name is Siren, a nanotech-based startup incubated at DBT ILS Bhubaneswar. Myself, Subrajit Sineroy. I'm BTech MTech in biotechnology. So coming to the problem statement, almost 82% of the Indian population are suffering for the stress. And those in the sandwich generation from age 35 to 49 mostly affected around 89%. That is the stress level. Stress, so what is a stress? Stress is a feeling of emotions or a physical tension. It can come from any event or through that make you feel frustrated, anger or nervous. Mental stress is a major issue nowadays among youngsters. So we can see due
The
to
screen
the
is not moving. The screen is not moving.
So it's moving. Sir, hello.
It's still on the first screen. Yeah, now it moved.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah, now it is moving. So
okay.
I think so.
So as I have mentioned that problem statement, about 82% of the Indian population are suffering for the stress, and those in the sandwich generation from age 35 to 49, most of the affected with around 89% reporting some level of stress. So what is stress? Each and every you, me, and each and every person feel this type of stress. So stress is a feeling of emotional or a physical tension. It can come from any event or thought that make you feel frustrated, anger, or nervous. So mental stress is a major issue nowadays among youngsters and aged people. So due to the stress, different type of diseases are coming like headache, anxiety, anger, different heart related disease, muscle tensions and many other problems. So stress is a major cause of different type of problem nowadays. So what we have planned, as we are now designing ECG electrodes. So working on ECG electrodes for 3 years, I have come up with an idea to track stress of each and every person. So our objective is to track stress continuous throughout the day using the stress score that give you a clear idea if you are experiencing any stressful moment in a day and guide you with some easy step to return to the clemmer step and work your work. So we are focusing on stress rate and stress score. So we have developed like a product. With the help of that, we are using the technology like HRV, heart rate viability. So what is heart rate viability? So working 3 years on the ECG, I have come up with different type of abnormalities that are coming in ECG during taking results of different persons. So heart rate viability is a major thing. With the help of this, we can determine the stress rates of different person. So using heart rate, many people in the foreign universities, they are using this type of technology to build stress score. But after doing an intensive research on this factor, I think that with the help of HRV, it is not possible to get the stress score in a continuous manner. So I have added a transvagus nerve stimulation or TVNS. So it is also a non-invasive technique. By using these two techniques together, I have developed a technique to find out the stress score of each and every working person. So this is the technology, how it's worked. So it will be a earbud type of technology which will be plugged in your ear. Each and every person, so how a stress is generated? So stress is generated due to continuous exposure of a stressful situation. Like if a person is working in a stressful situation for continuous 3 to 4 hours, then only he get a major flaws of stress conditions. So this is the technique. When a person is experiencing any stressful situation, within 15 to 20 minutes of the detection part, the HRV detection, abnormal stress score is generated and send it to the phone. So there will be an app that will be connected to the earbud. If any stressful situation is happening for more than 15 to 20 minutes, an alert system will be generated into the phone. And after that, there will be some procedure by which a person can come into a normal state and the person can walk his existing walk. Okay. This is the technique, and with the help of that, to protect a person from getting exposure with anxiety, depression, we have generated a monthly statistical data. So if a person is experiencing a stressful situation throughout the month or throughout the year, with the basis of that, it will be generating a monthly statistical data, and these data will be sent to the email and the personal contact that will be given in the app during the installation of the app. So these data will be sent to your parents or close friends, those who can assist him for clearing this stressful situation in further. So journey so far, as we have developed ECG machines and as well as ECG electrodes, we have come up with like working on frequency domain method. So this is a technique that we are using low frequency, that is the low frequency of the heartbeats, and very low frequency VLF. We are finding out the ratio of these two, and with the help of peak detection, we are bringing the stress score till now. So as we know that the earbud market size, we all know that earbud play a crucial role nowadays. Each and every of us sitting in front of us, most of the people have wearing the earphone for getting a clarified sound. So this earbud, and we know that within 2021 to 26, there will be 20% increase of the total market of the earbud. So what we are targeting to develop this technology and transfer the technology to the Indian earbud market, Indian earbud companies, those who can use this technology and advance their marketing concepts. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Subrajit. Over to the jury members. Mr. Raghuram, if you have any questions.
Suprajit, it's a very nice concept. Excellent.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. I just want to check, would you like to integrate this along with the headphones which
Yes,
are
sir,
generally
definitely,
used
sir.
by these people? Any plans for using the mobile device with the headphones to continuously monitor? Because most of the times people are using headphones than just the earbuds. If I see it, that is the model I was looking forward. And how do you like to, market it? This is like a consumer product, right? It's nothing to do with any medical fraternity, etc.
Thank you, sir. So actually, what I am targeting, like from 3 years, I am working on smart ECG device. So after using the device and using on electrodes, I have come up with this idea. So what we are targeting, we are not developing any earphone. We are just generating the idea that it is a modern era. In this modern era, we are finding like 9 out of 10 people have earphones in their pockets. So this is a very unique thing that is used by most of the people. But why should we implement some medical things into it? That was my concept. So using this HRV technique, what we are doing, we are using HRV technique to implement in this earbud with the help of, like, it will be B2B generally, with the help of like any Indian people, those who are trying to, Indian company, those who are trying to develop earphone, we will be directly contacting or transferring our technology to them. With the help of them, we will be developing smart earbuds. So these earbuds will be used to continue monitor stress level. Okay. So with the help of this, like a person can use earphone as well as can maintain their stress. So there will be like many people, those who are facing depression and anxiety, as I am also a depression patient and anxiety patient, so I have come up with this thing. So if you are wearing a earphone or use listening to music for a long time, you feel some uncomfortable things in your like ear. Okay, so these occurs due to the low frequencies or the music that is continuously playing and affecting your brain. So this can also be helped to monitor the use of speaker or the use of earphone in human body.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Surajit. Dr. Anirban?
Yeah, Surajit, this is really very good concept. But
Thank you.
can you please go over? I might have missed it. Like, how are you decreasing the stress level? Like, once you know, how are
Okay,
you
sir.
decreasing the stress level?
So, sir, is my slide visible?
Yeah.
So these are the two concepts I are using. Number one is heart rate viability, HRV,
Mhm.
and another one is transcutaneous vagus nerve stimulation. These are the two
Oh,
techniques I am using. So using only heart rate viability, we doesn't get the accurate answers or the accurate rate. So I am trying to implement these together, these in one sensor. So and the main thing, sir, the sensor that we are using, we have designed in with Indian product. We haven't used any outsourced sensors for getting the frequencies from ear. So we have designed in our own.
okay. So you are decreasing stress by stimulating the vagus nerves. Now that is
No, actually, sir, what we are doing, we are calculating the stress scores using the heart rate viability. Okay. After that, we are maintaining the stress.
okay. Okay. So did you do any? I know that it is probably. So do you have in a formation stage? But have you applied for any patents and stuff? I mean, I think it's
Yes, sir.
a patentable thing, right?
Yes, sir, I have already applied for a provisional patent, sir,
Okay.
and working on the POC. I have already built a ECG machine. So using that technique, ambulatory ECG technique and EEG technique, we are trying to develop this product. Okay, and as we have an in-house hardware team, so we are trying to develop in-house chip. With the help of that, we can calculate these low or very low or low frequencies from the ears.
Good. And do you have any so what are your plans for any clinical trial and stuff? This should go through a clinical trial, right? You might want to get with a CRO or some partners to, or you yourself, if you're capable of running a clinical trial to substantiate the lab results, because this is still now a lab one, right? It's when you do it with the real life situation, you have to substantiate this with a clinical trial, right?
Yes, sir. So what in Bhubaneswar, my startup is registered in Bhubaneswar. We
Mm-hmm.
are currently working with 2 hospitals and 5 psychologists. Those who are helping me in Kim's Hospital, Bhubaneswar, and Kalinga Hospital, Bhubaneswar. These are the 2 hospitals, and the doctor associated with this project. They are helping me for the clinical trial part. So we are about to present in the jury members in the KIMS. So with the help of that, if we are getting the permission, then we will be going through the clinical trials and all.
Great. Okay. Thanks. Excellent product. Really, it solves a problem, real life problem. Thank you.
Yeah, so while I move on to the next jury, you are already incubated with ILS Bhubaneswar. Any reason that you're looking for another incubation?
Sir, actually, the project that I am currently focusing on, that's required a well set up, because it's all about the radiation test and how low frequency noise. So it's all about a setup that I require to complete my project and bring it into a commercial stage. So that is the reason what I am wanting from AMTJ, to get that support. With the help of that, we can test our product and we can bring it into a market, working with B2B and B2C. Sir.
And what is the stage that you're in?
So till now I have working with the POC. So after the POC, the POC that I have designed, it's in-house only, sir. So without using any procure sensors or other things. So we have designed this sensor in-house using using my hardware team.
Okay. Dr. Anand Krishna?
So this is now, did you say that your POC is completed or yet to be completed?
No, sir, my POC is yet to be completed.
Yet to be
we are working on it.
Right. So you want to do your POC first and then come to AMTZ, or you want to build your POC at AMTZ, one, to do your pre-compliance testing and look at your EMI, EMC results, and then what?
Sir, after looking up the total result and the radiation test, I would like to collaborate with the team Indian earbud company, like those, like it will, I am planning for B2B only, sir. So I will be sharing my technology to them. So after that, they will be developing the earbud. So I don't want to develop the earbud. I want to develop the technique, which will be a unique from my side. Then I will be sharing my technology. Because I am generally, so my Siren company is generally working on ECG electrodes. So we are developing electrodes for neonatals. So based on that technique, we have come with these innovative ideas.
Sorry, what do you do? Neonatals? What do you do for neonatals?
So we are developing ECG electrodes for neonatals.
ECG?
ECG electrodes. Biocompatible ECG electrode. It's a polymeric based ECG electrodes that doesn't require any gum or adhesive things. So with the help of because in neonatals during using these commercial available ECG electrodes, neonatals face different type of problems, like their skin peels off, they have some allergic reaction. So for reducing that, we have developed or come up with a solution that is a biocompatible biopolymeric based ECG electrodes. So we are currently developing that too, sir.
Yeah, I just take one step back. I still didn't understand one thing. Is it like a earbud or earphone? How can I visualize this project? This product.
Sir, actually, it
does
will
it look
be
like an earphone, or does it? It's going to look like earbud.
Sir, my concern is with the technology. So I will be sharing my technology. They can develop earbud or earphone. That depends on them. Like the earbud developing company, they can develop that. So till now, what I think that it will be better for earbud. So it can also be implemented into the earphone also. So it doesn't have any issue for that.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Subrajit. We'll move to the next participant.
Can I just ask one question on his ECG for neonatals? What stage are you on your other work on neonatal ECG?
So
is this already a product rolled out?
Sorry, sir.
You said you're basically having a biocompatible ECG for neonatals, right? Your primary focus has been on this so far.
Yes, sir.
The
yes, sir.
ECG for neonatals.
Yes, sir. So, sir, let me describe that product. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my idea again. So, sir, what we are, Siren is a nanotechnology based company. Okay, sir. So we are developing this biocompatible and biopolymeric ECG electrodes. So now people nowadays that medical devices uses the dry lead and wet lead two type of electrodes. So that electrodes are generally made up of AgCl. So what we are targeting to remove that concept, to bring out some advanced electrodes that doesn't require any AgCl coating, because the AgCl coating, what happened due to some time or using the electrode that
I can take this discussion offline, but just want to know what stage it is. Have you commercialized that? That's what I want to know.
No, sir, it's on clinical trials, sir. We haven't.
Yeah, my question also with Dr. Anand, so a little curious, just like I'll take a second. Is that like, have you started talking with any of the companies, or what stage you are in? Because this is uncertainty, right? You talk with them and they say we are not interested. What will you do then?
Actually, sir, till now I haven't connected with any company. So I am utilizing I am bringing my fund from my house and developing that product in ILS. So I have a lab over there where my team working. So I haven't, and I am going through the startup fund, seed fund, and pitching my ideas over there, sir. So bring some idea and make it a commercial.
So, Prachi, thank you. Actually, I wanted to understand a little more your device. Maybe I'm not able to understand. So, is your device capturing data for stress management and then giving a solution also?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely, ma'am. Actually, what happening, as we all know that stress doesn't happen due to 1 minute of exposure of stress condition. So definitely what happens when a person is going through a series or a period of stress condition for 1 hour or 3 hours. So
how are you capturing that? What measure are you using for capturing that?
Sir, ma'am, we are using that HRV technique, heart rate viability. So we are measuring the RR peak, the time interval of RR peak, and we are bringing a stress score from that using
and
that.
How do you do that?
Sorry, ma'am.
How do you do that?
We are using IR sensor, ma'am. We are using IR sensor. okay, with the use of IR sensor. As you have seen, ma'am, the different type of ECG like 2-lead and 3-lead ECG are coming into play. So generally what we are doing, we are calculating the distance of two RR peaks. Okay, so there is a time period of between that. During any stress condition, what happened, the time period increases or decreases. Depending upon that, we are creating a stress score. Okay, ma'am. And sometimes what happens,
What is the solution? Understood. Thank you. What is the solution? What is the remedy which you are giving?
With the help of this, ma'am, we are giving a live feedback. It will be, the earbud will be connected into a app. Okay, so when a person go through the stress score, there will be a normal stress score. Suppose take 70 is the normal stress score.
It would be sending only feedback that you are under stress. You have to do something to de-stress yourself. That's
so it will give some techniques like how to reduce the stress, as well as these TVNS technique will also help to reduce the stress now. Transvagus nerve stimulation technique.
Thank you so much. Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Subhadip.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
We move on to the next participant. We're just running out of time, so we'll have to quickly close in. We have Selvi with us, who will be presenting. Selvi, are you able to hear us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Is it audible
Okay.
for you?
Yes, you are audible.
1 second, sir. One second. Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go ahead.
But I have shared my PPT with Shruti, ma'am. Or shall I share the PPT?
You can also share.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, we can see your presentation, Dr. Selvi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I'm Dr. J. Kamilchelvi, Professor, Department of PCE, Sri Sairam Engineering College. As an academician, I have submitted this proposal under the category of AI bar ML algorithm for prediction of pathology image. Since the topic was in general pathology images, I have taken breast image as the prime image here. So before starting my presentation and before giving the technical specification, I would like to just give some intro about the breast cancer. Breast cancer is the second most prevalent cancer in the world. And if it is not diagnosed at the early stage, then there is a 20% increase in morbidity and mortality rate. So early stage detection reduces the morbidity and mortality rate. But generally, mammogram is the gold standard technique for to diagnose the breast cancer. But the thing is, it is a painful process and it leads to more false positives. And due to the increase in false positive, it may lead to the aggressive treatment. So that is the reason why I chosen my thesis to do in thermal images. Basically, thermal images are safe, low cost, and less complex imaging process. And it is an I would like to claim here it could be used as an adjuvant tool to diagnose cancer well in advance. Say for example, mammogram fails to detect cancer for the dense breast when any malignancy occurs for the young women, and their breast tissues tend to be very dense, and the mammogram fails to detect the abnormality under the breast when the density increases. So but thermal images are very safe and it could diagnose we could diagnose the pathology even for the younger women. That is a claim which I would like to make it over here. And my topic is AI tool for analysis and characterization of breast thermal images. I would like to use AI as a platform using ML algorithm. I want to characterize the breast thermal images. The main motivation towards this proposal is, in general, in the literature and everywhere, we could find only the characterization of the 2D images. So they have segmented the 2D images and analyzed the 2D images. But here, the 2D images are, after acquiring this, they are subjected, they are segmenting, it is since thermal images has some noises, thermal noises, we need to clear off that. And after doing the pre-processing, we need to go for segmentation. To analyze any segmentation is very, very important. So after segmenting the 2D images, they are subjected to the AI tool, which comprises a machine learning algorithm. So here the outcome of an AI tool is a binary decision, whether the breast is a normal breast or abnormal breast. But for a doctor, this is not sufficient. If it says the breast tissues are abnormal, exactly we need to know the location of the abnormality. So this is a novelty in which I would like to claim is a 3D reconstruction. So we could try to reconstruct, we could try to we could try to do the 3D reconstruction of 2D images. So because of this 3D reconstruction of 2D images, we could localize the presence of tumor size and the shape. And the main objective to go for AI technology is to eliminate the subjective error. Because subjective error means maybe it may lead to a false positive diagnosis. So to eliminate that, an AI method is included here. And here the AI process both the 2D and 3D thermal images in order to reduce a false positive. And based on the AI output, the physician generally, they can generate a report for further investigation. This is a general thing which I want to present it over here. What is the success criteria of the concept here is, many researchers contributed their work in manual and semi-automatic segmentation technique, that too for the 2D images. Here we can go for fully automatic technique. And the thing is, they have used the online database, publicly available online database. All the authors, they have taken the online database images, they have analyzed the breast characteristics. And very few researchers obtained the images from the hospital. So here I would like to take a real-time images. I want to acquire the breast images using a thermal camera, and then all the process I would like to start from there. And most of the research work was on asymmetry analysis. What exactly is this asymmetry analysis? Is between both the breasts, there is going to be some temperature variations. That is the only claim they have made it. Based on the temperature variation, they have claimed there might be some problem in the breast, some abnormality in the breast. But that is not sufficient to go for the right diagnosis. So very less 3D thermal image analysis was observed. So I want to focus more on the 3D image, thermal image analysis, so that the doctors, I could contribute something so that the doctor could be very specific. What is the size of the tumor, where exactly the tumor is located, all this thing could be available. And most of the recent analysis were carried using deep learning network, but without any web interface. So this technology should reach even the rural people. I have provided a web interface technology also. So this is my technical specification. Initially, before getting the real-time images, I may go with the public database. So here, I think there is one block pre-processing and validation. So in order to remove the thermal noise, we need to go for denoising technique, and then the edge map extraction and validation. This is a very vital role for the breast thermal images. The reason behind that is generally thermal images are low in contrast and low in signal to noise ratio. And the second, the main problem is generally breast or amorphous, and the inframammary fold and the lower breast boundary are not very clear. So segmentation task is a very challenging one. So in order to segment the breast tissues properly, an edge map is essential. So we are going for an edge map extraction and validation technique. Based on the edge map, segmentation could be done, and then it is being subjected to the AI tool for the analysis, where we have ML algorithms. So that ML algorithm could give us whether the particular tissue is a normal tissue or abnormal tissue. But once if it is labeled as a normal and abnormal, if it is a normal, it has not been, that the report will be generated as a normal breast tissue. But if it is going to be an abnormal, then we need to go for a 3D reconstruction. So to find the location of the abnormality, a 3D reconstruction technique is to be carried out. And from the 3D reconstruction, decision making will be done by the physician, and a report will be generated for the further investigation. All this entire process is carried out in the cloud environment. So this is the thing where I have interfaced. Generally, deep learning, convolution neural network technique, all these things were carried out, but nothing has been interfaced with a web or something. So the entire process will be done in the cloud environment, so that any if at all we are able to deploy this technique, we can even convert this to an app. So this could be deployed anywhere, any hospital. So any physician can just capture the image, they can segment, they can analyze, and then they can generate the report. So this could be even done from the remote location. The next one is the regulation to meet. To be frank, as an academician, I'm not able to tell very clearly, but FDA regulation for the product to be focused, and the acquisition protocol, because the thermal images generally we need to take care of the ambience temperature also. So it need to be acquired in the controlled environment. So that acquisition protocol need to be taken care while we capture the image from the women. And the scope of the work is the main objective here it is to address a gap by developing a primary screening framework. So I don't claim this as the best screening tool, but this could be a primary screening tool well in advance. Even young women can subject to this sort of screening tool and all, because it is very safe and low cost technique, and it could predict the abnormality at very early stage. Later on, some other screening technique or some other tools could be incorporated. But here the main claim, what I want to put it is, this could be a preliminary screening framework. So here, use of real-time images in the controlled environment by following a standard acquisition protocol. We are going to we can create and contribute breast thermal image database to the researchers. So and 2D 3D model based analysis of thermal images to localize the tumor and its size to reduce the false positive rate. This is also one of the scope. And a novelty of the proposal is development of the cloud-based image analysis using machine learning and AI techniques. And e-screening and web-based decision-making interface is created. This will enable secured and authorized consultation by the physician from any part of the country. So even the rural women could get benefited out of it. They lack in awareness to prevent their breast. Generally, what is the general advice which is being given to the women is self-examination. Instead of going for a self-examination, this tool could be put forward. And what is the support I required from AMTZ is definitely I need to get a real-time images from the hospital. Being an academician, it is very tough to get an image from the hospital. But if it is through AMTZ, it would be more benefited for me. And in all medical device regulatory aspect, definitely, since I have gone through the website of AMTZ, they are the AMTZ is developing many medical devices. So in that part also I need some help for validation of the project to convert the idea to product. That is the main aim, main support I require. And the risk, what is the risk factor? I have assumed what exactly the word risk here means. In spite of FDA approval on thermal image screening, it is not widely accepted tool. So in order to make, this is one risk which we really need to mitigate, this one. So this may be due to the influence of atmospheric and ambient temperature on the thermal characteristics. So we need to follow a standard acquisition protocol. So this, with the help of AMTZ, I think I can mitigate this problem. And this is a preliminary screening tool. And this is my plan actually. Since the timeline was not very specific, I have taken for 3 years here. In general, I have presented this PPT. This is 3 years. For 3 years, I have given the timeline here, like literature survey. And here, sorry, JRF recruitment I have put it, but it is not necessary for me. MOU and collaboration with the hospital, purchase of some equipments, it takes some time for me, and development and testing of the algorithms, thermal image acquisition and creation of the database. Yeah.
I'm sorry, we'll have to hard stop here.
Sorry. Okay, sir. So these are the costs, sir.
Yeah. So I have. So I have a question. Would you be able to come to AMTZ for this POC?
Yeah. Just in the mail only I saw it, sir. Proof of concept is only my publications. As such, I don't have any prototype or anything like that. So I have just submitted my idea here. My proposal idea I have submitted, sir. In the mail
Thank
only
you.
I came to see the proof of concept.
So I'll just put it to the jury for any questions.
Yeah.
Sagura?
Hi, Ms. Selvi. One of the key topics which you have chosen. But you already aware that there are multiple solutions available in the market, especially thermal imaging solutions, which captures the 2D images and then do the preliminary assessment, not a deterministic diagnostic. It's a preliminary assessment. You know the names of the company Niramai. They're doing pretty well, but how do you see it something different? If the quality of the image is one of the reasons why you want to convert the 2D to 3D, the quality is bad. The 3D image quality also is going to be bad. At what is your confidence of trying to enhance the 2D image and try to come out with a clear 3D image? The second question I have is, do you have any possibilities to collaborate with existing breast cancer? There's multiple people in the market to provide your technology to enhance their offerings. That's my question.
Yeah, I have seen some of the marketing tools which are available, but they have just mentioned it is an ML based, machine learning based, but 3D reconstruction I could not see anywhere, sir. So in that aspect only, I thought I can do some contribution over here. And moreover, as far as the quality is concerned, I don't think we can. There will be some compromise on the quality if we are going from 2D to 3D reconstruction. Only the challenge what we will be facing is reconstruction. 3D reconstruction itself is going to be a challenging, but once if you are able to mitigate the challenge, I think it would be a good solution for the rural women's.
Gotcha.
I feel so. It is from my point of view, sir. I have gone through many solutions, but all the solutions were very plainly have mentioned machine learning algorithm. But where exactly if we keep on, actually, to be frank, one thing I want to put it over here is when you process the thermal images more and more, definitely the temperature variation is also going to be very, very very significant. It is going to vary. Actually, 1 degree to 1.5 degree variation itself depicts there is some abnormality in the breast. So that is the reason why I want to go for a 3D reconstruction in order to eliminate the false positive thing. Since we are doing multiple processing, in order to eliminate that one, I
got you. Listen, I got you. Thank you.
Dr. Nirvan?
Yeah. So this is since it is in a concept phase now. So have you tried with? I have a suggestion. Instead of any questions, actually. So have you tried with the Google reconstruction tools with a few sample images, to test, whether the concept works, or how is the
Yeah,
doctor?
I'm trying, sir, but not fully. To be frank, I just need
Because
some, really, I need some help from the doctors or from the higher people. So that is why I thought, okay, I may get something out of it, something out from all you people. I thought in that way.
actually, it's a good, it's a the concept wise it is good, but the adaptation again in this, with especially in countries like India, the mammography adaptation is very low because of social reasons and restrictions on women and stuff. So this could be a good solution, but if you can try, I really would like to see that you try with probably Google reconstructions, and see how the algorithm. There are many algorithms available online. Google has a bunch of them. You can just play with it and see, how is it. It's actually, and you can find some sample data also.
Yes, sir.
We can take it offline, but and yeah, you can try it out. Kind of like a prototype, not a practical, like a tangible on-hand prototype, but probably a virtual prototype you can create and test your idea. This. But it's
Sure,
a very, very good approach, actually.
sure,
Thank you.
sure, sir. Sure, sir. Sorry, sir. In the brochure, this innovation call, so I didn't thought of proof of concept. Very sorry to present without a
No,
proof of concept for
that's
a
a good
panel.
innovation. Hey, somewhere it has to start, no? So this is a good start. It's a very good. It will solve. I really would like to, have such kind of things, surface out and realize in practicality, because that will solve a huge problem in India, and many other countries also.
Okay, sure, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Kavita?
Thank you, Dr. Selvi. But I do have some suggestions. As we know, we have a solution named Miramai. It's also based on thermal imaging, and AI is also a part of it. And the concept which you explained is exactly the replica of Miramai. So what I would suggest, if you can focus on any other cancer, because breast cancer is, they have already taken care of, they have come up with a solution, and which is quite in the commercialization state currently in the market. So if you can develop some AI based solution for any different disease or a different cancer, I think that would be more appropriate. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Actually, my thesis was on breast thermal images. That is why I just taken this one. Actually, Miramai, later on only I found that one, to be frank. My thesis, my publication, everything was on thermal images only. So before they started, then only I started getting their contacts and all. But my point is on 3D reconstruction and web interface or something like that, and for the rural people. And they really afraid of going for mammogram and all. So this could be a simple technique where a handheld device or something, so that just before a woman stands and we can take a picture and it could be fed into this device. So in that point of view only, I just wanted it could be
That is
deployed in all
that
the
is what
government.
my suggestion. They have already developed, and they have also developed a solution for villages, rural India, they are also targeting the same. So if you can shift your focus to some other disease or some other cancer, that would make more sense.
Yeah, I think this edge map extraction, validation, everything plays a vital role in all the cancer images, ma'am, actually, because you want to segment the image, actually. For segmentation, the boundary is very, very important. We cannot take the good tissues also. We need to take only the bad tissues. So in that case, all the algorithm, everything is common. Only thing is the input is breast images. I have kept it over here. Actually, I thought of for a foot ulcer, but I did not got any good.
Yes, I would recommend you to do that, because we have seen so many patients. That's also a concern area, since we have diabetes and NCD burden is so high. Maybe you can focus on that, and you can come up with something on that.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sure, sure, doctor. Sorry, sure, doctor. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kavita. Dr. Selvi, you can close the presentation.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, doctor.
So we come close to the presentations for today. I would now request Sir Raghuram to say a few words about the innovation call and some comments on the presentations today. May I request Mr. Raghuram?
Thank you, Mr. Manish. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank ANTZ for giving me this opportunity to. It's just not an opportunity, it's actually a learning process for me, going through a lot of innovations coming out in the market. I've been sponging for innovations in the market for the last 5 years as part of my 8-year role at NASCOM. I've seen great presentations today, and all of them are addressing very important need of the society. So that is congratulations for the thought process to all the participants. But I would like to give 2 or 3 points which are very important, which I see. I'm not a practicing doctor, so I do not have a medical degree, but I have been part of a lot of innovation programs which are towards the public health, towards the people, especially in the low resource sectors. So one of the important factors which I would like to see or the participant can work on is what's the value to the customer. The customer could be a patient, it should be patient-centric, or it should be what is the value to the medical professional. Is it reducing time? It is enhancing their speed of activity, speed of work. I think that's very important. Pure innovation in itself is not sufficient if it is like a huge effort in the hands of the medical professional. The other element I also would like to look at is what is the need? The need is not just a disease. The need is also about a disease plus delivery. I always professed about how are you going to deliver your solution? Do you have a delivery mechanism? Do you have a support system? Do you have the mechanism to sustain replacement of your technology? How you're going to support your hardware as a support, right? So these are all the aspects which people will have to think about in the plan. And either it is solving a medical challenge or it is providing the support to the medical professional by way of safety. For example, the robot which has been given. In case of extreme conditions where the hospital acquired infections are very high in certain elements, so the robotic process really comes out and helps. So it is giving the safety for the medical, or it's giving curing something, or it's giving a value add for money, for the patient's welfare. So the last point I would like to add, people please look at how we can solve the rural Indian problems at the primary healthcare centers. Can your innovation go and really be installed and simplify things? So these are the few things which I thought I should be sharing with the presenters today. And thank you very much to all the presenters, and also wish them all the best. Thanks once again, Mr. Manish.
Thank you, Raghuramji. I would like to welcome Dr. Jitendra Sharma, who is MD and CEO of AMTZ. He is now with us to say a few words. Thank you, sir, for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, Manishi. I was listening to Mr. Raghuram and Dr. Anirban questions last few minutes. I had joined. So no, thank you for your time, Dr. Anirban. And
Hey,
Dr.
nice to see you, sir. Always, it's a pleasure.
Good to see you, Dr. Sharma.
So Manishi, if you can please summarize what happened, because I was in other meetings. If you can tell me how many innovators came and what is the remark of jury in terms of their potential. Maybe we can, along with jury, decide what to do next, and also have the jury in some way get attached to our mentorship support system. Particularly, both the excellent colleagues, Raghuramji and Anirban sir. So, besides wishing happy puja to Dr. Anirban.
Hey, happy Vijayadashami to everybody. Sorry. Yeah.
So, and Dr. Kiran is also there. Dr. Kiran, hi. Manish Kishore has gone away. No.
Oh, he's there. I can see him.
Yeah, I can see him now. Yeah. So Manishi, Dr. Kiran is also part of the jury.
So he's one of the innovators, sir.
Okay. He has completed his presentation, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are the innovators also in this session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how many innovators are there? Can you give a summary?
Sir, today we have 5 innovators presenting today. Mr. Uday Mala from Al Kappa, he has
Right. How many are there? 5.
5 today, sir.
Okay. What were the total number of applicants?
Total 16 participants, sir.
16. Where are the rest? When is going to be their presentations?
Sir, we'll take on Wednesday remaining, sir.
Okay.
Because
so maybe,
yes, sir.
Maybe what I'll do is I can of course speak to everyone that day, not today. But broadly, I want to take this opportunity to thank the innovators who have applied. They have put forth some projects that they want to do. But besides what they want to do, we want them to also work on some projects of importance, which is primarily led also by Dr. Anirban here. Whether it is a reconstruction project for a cath lab or a module for a ventilator. I mean, these are practical projects which are needed for supplies of essential medical products from AMTZ. So the innovators must see this not just as an opportunity to do what they wish to do, which certainly they would, for which certainly we would support them, but also to be part of a business plan of already something which is happening. Because if they can be part of that plan which is already happening, the business profile and the technological profile of these companies change, and their innovation only adds to their technological journey. That is point number 1. Point number 2 is there are 16 applicants, and I'm sure the 5 that have presented today, they have to some extent or other impressed our jury, because our jury is also not a fly-by-night jury. They are people who come with tons of credibility and a long-standing experience. You can give a problem to them and they will touch and tell you where the solution is, right? So if our innovators have to some extent impressed our jury, we would be happy to onboard as many of them as possible. Unlike a NEET or a GATE exam, there is no cutoff because that is anti-innovation. People who get 2000 rank, they are fine, and 2001 rank is not fine. So which means suddenly intellect becomes 0 between 2000 and 2001 rank. That's not the case in an innovation journey. So we would like to onboard as many of them as possible. And third, we are in the process of setting up a data center here, which would actually incrementally help them explode themselves. Because finally, if a rock solid storage and computing system is available, they don't have to run on resources from from one place to another. So broadly, what I wanted to share is I thank all the innovators on behalf of AMTZ, and also thank the internal jury team of my colleagues, external jury, that is Dr. Anirban and Dr. Raghuram. We would like innovators to do what they want to do, but also would like them to do what we want them to do, and do both. It is possible to do both. Even those of you who have children, you know that your child studies and plays at the same time. Consider your project as your study and our project as your playtime, but do both. The second thing is, we would like to onboard each one of you, because all of you are adding value to society and technological development in medtech in India. Therefore, we are not narrow-minded to say that some of you are good and others are not good or bad. All of you are good, and together we all can be better. And we would like to onboard all of them and share our resources with all of them. And thirdly, right from data centers to storage to IT system support, we would be happy to dedicate our resources to you. As we always say, all we need is your presence, because your presence helps you understand what we are dealing with. And therefore, one thing which we will not perhaps agree to is your working remotely. Because AMTZ is an essential service zone. So long as you are part of us, we are happy to engage with you and make you more and more get inducted into our production ecosystem and innovation ecosystem. So those of you who are intending to or were planning to working remotely, if you cannot be here, or if you cannot have a full-time representative of your team here, we would not be able to work with you. Otherwise, we would be happy to go a long distance with you. With that, Manishi, I think over to you, and thank you for organizing this meeting. And of course, we will have multiple rounds with the next batch. And those who agree to be at AMTZ or have someone at AMTZ full-time, those whom you all select as jury, we would have a face-to-face induction call with them as well. And I'll be available for that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. And thank you to the jury members. So I would like Dr. Anand Krishnan, our CEO of Viability, to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you all hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Most of us hear you. We just don't listen to you.
So, thank you very much for all the innovators for giving your time, and all those presentations are wonderful. Each of them are at different stage of product development, and so I'm part of Medivalley Incubation Center. As the way we work is, we help all our innovators with a prototype development support. And we initially thought today is the end of all presentations, but the response is so overwhelming. We have to carry over another session like this day after tomorrow again. So once when we hear from all of them, we'll just come back to you again after Wednesday. Okay. But thanks very much for your time, and we'll keep you posted.
Thank you. Yeah, and last but not least, I would ask Vivekanand Sahu, who is head of our digital team, to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Chief, and thank you, jury members and my colleagues over here, and more so to the innovators. I think the way we're seeing rapid technology advancement in terms of in medical health, I think it is just it's a matter of time that the way we all functioning, the way the diagnosis is happening. I think AI, machine learning, deep learning will play a critical role. And it's so amazing to see the kind of work that is happening, the research work is happening among all of really wish and hope that we all can work together and support this wonderful innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Vivekanand Sahu. And I would like to thank everybody and we'll get in touch with the jury members for the next round of remaining batch and take the common time to meet them all. And we'll connect with the innovators shortly to take it forward. Thank you so much.
Those innovators that eventually get selected, we would like our friends, Mr. Raghuram and Dr. Anirban, to continue to guide them, handhold them, and be mentors for them, co-mentors for them along with our team. Because the journey of innovators will get enriched with such mentorships.
Sure, Dr. Shen.
Sure. Thanks.
Take care. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind.
Thank you for having us. Jai Hind.